Welcome to Our Girl Relationships. On this channel, we talk about problems people face in their day-to-day life. Let's start with the video.
My mom has an odd relationship with my fiancé Anna. At first, my mom strongly disliked Anna for no particular reason. She would always make comments surrounding Anna's appearance, her job, her family, etc. It got to the point where I had to cut all contact with my mom because her comments were putting a serious strain on our relationship. Over the past 2 years, I don't know what flip switched on inside my mom, but holy shiz, all of a sudden she adores Anna. It took Anna and I a bit more time to accept my mom's sudden change in behavior, but it's been smooth sailing ever since. She won't stop gushing about Anna, and she wants to be involved in Anna's life. Anna enjoys her company, despite their rough start. Anna and my mom used to see each other almost every week or every other week. The pandemic is largely at fault for putting a stop to their weekly visits, but they've still largely kept in touch. I think my mom really misses Anna and wants to spend time with her at every opportunity she has. Though Anna likes my mom, I don't think she's up for seeing my mom as often as she used to. I don't think this is anyone's fault per se, but mom is a very loud and outgoing person and Anna just needs time to de-stress, plus she works a very demanding job and would like her weekends to herself. We're communicating this to my mom. Anna's brother passed away almost a week ago. He was in hospital for a few months, but his health was progressively getting better, and everyone, especially Anna, thought that he was going to be out of hospital soon, but he just unexpectedly passed. Obviously, Anna is devastated and hasn't been sleeping well, eating well, and on top of all her stress, she has to take care of her brother's young kids. She's exhausted and doesn't have much time to herself. My mom, without any warning, came by my house in the afternoon demanding to spend time with Anna. Anna was taking a nap at the time, so I asked my mom to be a little quieter and assured her that Anna would wake up soon to talk to her. My mom wasn't satisfied with that answer and started making a lot of noise to try to wake her up. I tried to explain to her that Anna has been extremely busy and she's been dealing with the death of her brother, etc. My mom refused to hear it and responded with, verbatim, "Well, it's not as if his death was unexpected, and many other people have a lot more on their plate, so I don't know why Anna can't just suck it up." I, at this point, was furious with her, so I basically threw her out and called her a heartless bee who has no real sense of empathy. This single comment caused my mom to get more angry with Anna and a few more family members to send her a few nasty messages. I don't want Anna to bear the brunt of my mistakes, and I'm wondering if that comment may have gone too far. Not the asshole. Your mother has decided that Anna is her plaything and has to be available whenever she pleases. That isn't fair to Anna and crosses so many lines it isn't even funny. She has zero respect for Anna and is only interested in the attention Anna can provide her. Good for you standing up for your partner and calling her out on her BS. Condolences to your fiancé on her loss. How insensitive and narcissistic of your mother to demand that Anna pay attention to her while it's obvious she's grieving. Who behaves like this? I agree with other comments that you need to go low contact or no contact at all. This behavior is not healthy, and Anna needs to know you have her back, which it sounds like you do, thank goodness. Not the asshole. Whatever changed with your mother, I think her sudden change towards your fiancé was due to self-serving reasons, whatever they may be. She seems to be highly dependent on the time interaction with her, to a demanding and careless extreme. Your mother needs to learn boundaries and give people the space they need and deserve. That and you're standing up for your wife, which is what you should do. Not the asshole. Your mother changed her behavior because she realized her initial tactic wasn't working. She was rotten to Anna at first because she was trying to control you. She figured out that it didn't work because you cut her out instead. So she switched tactics and decided to wine and dine Anna. This is almost certainly to gain control over your relationship. If she can't influence you directly, then she will influence you through Anna. She's rebelling because her play nice ploy isn't working anymore, as she hasn't had the free access into your lives that she's been wanting. She's having a temper tantrum because in her eyes, she's a nice player and is thus entitled to complete access to both of you whenever she wants. She seems to literally not understand or accept that you are not an extension of her, and she's lashing out about it. Let's go to the next story. My parents never got married, and I spent my childhood at both my dad's and mom's place. My dad married my stepmom when I was 5, and we had a great relationship till she died when I was 16. My stepmother used to read a lot, and she left me a few of her books. She wrote comments on the side, and I loved reading them. I kept them at home when I went to college because I didn't want to lose them, and I kept them at the bottom rung of the shelf and specifically told everyone in the house not to touch them or use them. I came home for summer break and I found a few of them gone. I asked my mom what happened, and she told me that my stepdad had given them to a friend to read. I kept asking for them to be returned, and it has been 2 months and they still have not been found. They meant a lot to me. My dad is a workaholic, and my step-siblings live across the country and don't even talk to me. Those books were one of the few tangible connections to my stepmom, and they gave it away like it was theirs. My mom was asking me about plans for the summer, and I told her that I will be moving in with my best friend, and we had paid the lease for a house. My mom was very upset with me and asked me why I had planned this without talking to her. I said I was an adult and summer was months away. My mom kept on calling me to come back, and I kinda snapped that I didn't trust them anymore after they gave away my books, and I would visit them to get my books, but I really hated how they brushed it off like it was nothing. My mom snapped that I should have told her before signing the lease, and I was being childish about a mistake. My stepdad called me and said he will find the books and ask his friend if any of them had it again. I told him that I still won't come back if they did find it. My stepdad should give them the benefit of the doubt. I know this is a big conflict as I graduate next year from college, and this will probably be the last summer I spent with my parents. But I don't want to go back. I spent half my Christmas break crying because I didn't have the break, but they are still my parents and I love them. I feel like I'm punishing them, but I don't want to go back home. Not the asshole. Don't go where you don't want to go. You're an adult. You have the power to make this decision, and now at least they understand how much that angered you, that they disrespected your boundary, and not only touched the books you told them not to touch, but lent them out and still haven't gotten them back. Your mom can snap as much as she wants. Technically, you're punishing them or setting up a consequence for the breach of your boundaries, but as an adult, it's your prerogative to do exactly that. Not the asshole. They overstepped and broke your trust. Something that was valuable to you was taken, and they took no responsibility and belittled you for being upset. It seems like they just shiz on a relationship that was important to you. This is a time of your life where you should be spending the summer with friends. Going to spend the summer with mom seems like it will be painful instead of loving. If they can't respect your boundaries, then you shouldn't be there. Strong boundaries make for good relationships. Not the asshole. I hope they find the books. If you want to, you can consider visiting them for a week or a few days at a time to spend time with them. You shouldn't feel obligated, and it does depend on how much stress versus happiness hanging out with them brings. I haven't visited for more than a week since college. Summers were for work or research, and family lived very far anyway, so I couldn't afford to if I wanted, which I didn't. Next story. So this doesn't happen regularly. Both me and my husband were only children, but when our second kid O was really young, we realized that asking our firstborn S, 7 years older, to babysit wasn't fair, so we've always used childminders or grandparents for the sort of thing and paid accordingly. For example, I got home from work around 4:30, and my husband around 7, but we went with a package for the childminder that they would look after O until 6 p.m. every day, and I always pick O up. S has never had to, and this means she can hang out with friends and take part in clubs like a teen should be allowed to do. Even on weekends for things like grocery shopping, we don't leave S to look after O. We either go as a family or O comes along. In fact, in the 8 years of O's life, S has had to mind her exactly once for more than about 15 minutes at a time, when someone rear-ended me from picking up my husband from the station, about 5-minute drive away. And I had to get him to A&D to get looked at. Anyway, this week has been a bit of a perfect storm of inconvenience. I've had to rush off abroad as my mom had a really bad fall and is in a really serious condition, especially given her age. My husband is still at home with the kids, but as it's a monumentally busy time at work due to his industry, he often has to work late hours in the run up to April. However, he's a bit of a senior now. He's able to clock it off immediately at 5:30 and nip home, but it's still around 7 when he gets home. So for that 1-hour slot between 6 and 7, the most obvious solution was to ask S to go collect O and bring her home. The childminder lives on the same road as us. There's honestly not much looking after that needs to be done either, as O will happily watch TV for an hour until my husband can come home and get to work for dinner. We can't call on my husband's parents right now either, as they're positive and need to be isolated. S, however, was highly against this, saying how unfair it was that she had to look after her sibling and that we were parentifying her. I disagree absolutely. It's 5 hours in total across this 1 week. And in a tricky time for the family, I told S she had to take one for the team and make some sacrifices. She's been picking O up without complaint, but O says she's not said a word to her all week. And my husband has noted S has been scathing, so when I return on Sunday, we're thinking of sitting down with S and having a good chat with her. Not the asshole. I am 10 years older than my brother, and sometimes I have to babysit to help my family out. Parentification is a lot more complex than being asked to babysit or helping support your family during a rare chaotic time. Not the asshole. There's a fine line between parentifying and helping out. Given the circumstances that follow this week, S needs to be mature enough to understand that both you and your husband are in a tight spot right now, and the least she can do is to dedicate that 1 hour to help you both by looking after her sister. I think S needs a good talking to about the importance of helping out her family when needed. Not the asshole. Reddit loves to use the word parentification. It rarely applies to this broad, and it doesn't here. Being in a family means helping out and having responsibilities. Sometimes that means all hands on deck in an emergency. For 1 week, you step up and help with a sibling. Sometimes that means cleaning the kitchen even if everyone ate food, not just you. If you ask her every single day to pick up the child at the expense of her being able to do activities because you're too cheap to pay a sitter, that's an issue, but this isn't. Next story. So my mom has always favored my brother, 21M, over me, 17F. It's not a secret. Literally all of her friends have pointed it out at least once, to which she's always gotten angry over. My brother has always been a bit of a troublemaker, to lightly put it. He's currently awaiting trial for multiple theft charges. He's also a drug addict, having used meth, weed, alcohol, pills of all sorts, K2, etc. since he was roughly 12 to the present day. This would lead him to breaking the law, even going as far as attempting a low-key robbery with me and a friend waiting in the car. We had no idea he was going to do that. I'll indulge more if anyone's interested. Anyway, I mention this because I've never been like that. Really. Never smoked weed or got in any major trouble. Maybe a little when I was 10, but nowhere near the things he's done. Despite the things my brother has done, my mom remains on his side no matter what he does or how he treats her. She even refers to him as a leaky faucet, claiming that a leaky faucet always needs attention. She'll say, when someone deserves love the least is when they need it most. Which is nice and all, except because of this mindset, I've been slightly neglected over the years. Anytime I bring it up, she gets irrationally angry, insinuates I'm stupid or don't understand, and makes me feel bad enough that I just drop the whole thing. So, tonight he stole our car. We're afraid he'll get it impounded, which would suck because then we'd have no form of transportation. No, we don't have money to get it out either. My mom, instead of getting mad at my brother, blamed me and said, I put the keys on your dresser. You should have hid them. I tell her she should stop blaming me for everything and start blaming my brother, holding him accountable. I did it in a way that would definitely constitute me as an asshole. What do y'all think? Am I the asshole for confronting her? Because they make me feel like I am in the wrong, but I don't think so. The way my mom treats me makes me think she wishes I had turned out like him instead of the other way around. I know for a fact she wouldn't do the same things for me she does for him. Not the asshole, but I would actually sit down with your mom if you care about her and explain to her that all important relationships need to make an effort and that you don't feel as loved as your brother is. If she starts coming up with excuses, tell her you don't need excuses, you just want her to understand how you feel while you still have both time to mend your relationship. If she does nothing, that's your answer. When you're old enough, move out. Have a low-contact relationship with her. Eventually, she'll probably realize she screwed up, and then you can inform her that you gave her a chance and now she has a relationship with you that she earned. I can guarantee she'll reach out for money in the future, or help dealing with your brother, or when she gets older and can't take care of herself, we'll expect you to take them both in. Better to shut that all down sooner rather than later, when you're moved out. It's not mother bashing to tell you that what your mom is doing to you is not okay. Please seek out some help whenever you can. Extended family, a school counselor. Is your dad in the picture? You're not the asshole for pushing back against your mom, blaming you for your brother's bad behavior. That's called setting boundaries. And getting good at setting boundaries is exactly what you'll need to do to counter her enabling behavior. Mother bashing isn't the same as pointing out that she isn't a good person or a good mother for either of you. Your brother may deserve to have to take whatever legal action is taken against him for his criminal activity. He tried to rob people and included you in it unknowingly. It's sad that your mother not only treats you that way, but his behavior is linked to how your mom treats him too. If he never gets lectured, in trouble at home, educated on how to survive in this world, then he's just been set up for failure too. Being spoiled like he has him thinking he can do whatever he wants. Mom won't be disappointed in him and will enable him. You're both honestly victims here. Granted, it's too late to change his past. Not the asshole. Hopefully you can move out somewhere safer. But also, with you being almost 18, if there's an option at all, look into other living accommodations for the time coming. Who knows if she'd stop supporting you once she doesn't have to.